If you play VRChat, you may be familiar with full body tracking, and today I shall discuss a company that promised affordable full body tracking. Hello everyone, Ren here, or Alias, and today I shall talk to y'all about Slime VR. So, around 2 years ago, I decided to back Slime VR. It was around October 12th, 2021. That's when I decided to put my money down and give to Slime VR. And after 2 years, as of the recording of this video, I am still without it. Now, this is a series of mishaps and bumps in the road and misfortune, and I'll tell you all about it. The earliest update I can find is on December 31st, 2020. You know, to start 2020 with a bang. The creators of Slime VR started with a dream, a cheap way to get full body tracking in VRChat. Now, full body tracking is so when I can also move my legs and my body, so I'll be more, animated instead of just sitting here on the chair. And people saw this on Twitter, and it kinda blew up. So people believed them, and they want to back him up because it was a reasonable project. This person wasn't incompetent. This person knew how to do this. They were even showing progress throughout Twitter that showed, how they were built from scratch, how they put them on like the weird case, and how it could work on VRChat. So a crowdfunding campaign started in August 21st, 2021. It was asking for the sum of $180,000. Reasonable amount to make all these chips. They were going for around like 200 pop, like average, for the full body set. Some were cheaper, some were more expensive. And within 12 hours of the campaign started, they smashed the goal. It was insane. They got a 180K in 12 hours. They were some kind of 80s stock investor. It was absolutely insane. Also, they ran into some trouble early in the campaign. They were affected by the international chip shortage. If you remember, back in the pandemic, there was a chip shortage, so electronics became more expensive. Remember when no one could get a PS5 and people were like selling kidneys and firstborns to get them? Yeah, that was caused by the chip shortage too. So it happened to everybody. It wasn't just them. But it's a technological piece. They needed to get like a whole batch of chips and they couldn't get them. So that's a delay. That's no one's fault. The campaign was completed within 12 hours, and on September 7th, they made an announcement of thank you. They didn't make the announcement when the campaign was completed for some reason. I guess they were, fixing other stuff. But I decided to back on October 12th, 2021. So that is the next month after the campaign was completed. Now, when you crowdfund something, it's not Amazon, and I knew that. You can't just crowdfund it and get it in 2 days free shipping. No, you crowdfund, then you wait a couple of months. And I knew that going in. that I probably wouldn't see my full body tracking for a long time. And to be fair to Slime VR, they were pretty good with the updates. Anytime there was a bump in the road, they would tell you. An example, when war broke out between Ukraine and Russia back in 2022, I think it was February 2022. They were honest and said, hey, this is gonna cause a massive delay. They lived in Estonia and they couldn't really work from there anymore. So they moved to the Netherlands where they could get their warehouse up and running. So that was an update that they did. They also readdressed the chip shortage. They ordered a new set of IMU chips. They used an old chip before, and they only got like 5,000 of them, so they needed to get a new IMU chip to get the orders fulfilled faster. Because, time is of the essence here. Because on crowdfunded projects, if you don't deliver on time, people will start, to not believe in you. Now, a bad thing of these delays. These delays caused the early backers to not get their stuff early. So everybody was getting their stuff at the same time. But it kind of sucks that the early backers, the people that support you first, won't get any perks for supporting you first. But, it's a, it's another thorn. It's another bump on the road. It's an unfortunate situation. And now, this is mid 2022 by now, the last update. And now, finally, in October of 2022, one whole year after I decided to back in 2021, it's when production began to really take off. So, on October 2022 is when production really began to take off. So this is a whole year after I backed them, and more than a year after the campaign was completed. Well, more than a year and 2 months. And then on this update, finally, they did something that would make Henry Ford proud. They got their assembly line up and running. And finally, on March 9th, 2023, this is 5 months after their assembly line began getting this right. They finally started shipping DIY kits, which is, I think it was the cheapest version of this Slime VR. And this is known as Shipment 1 in the Discord server. They finally started shipping to backers, proving that it is possible to get it, that it is not a scam, which, some people start to think. Because it's been a year and delays, and crowdfunded horror stories are a dime a dozen. But finally, there's people getting slimes. Took him a year and 6 months, but finally, they were getting their full body tracking. At least the most simple one, because DIY kits you don't need to assemble in the factory. They just put them in a baggie and ship them. Now, this is a huge thing when the shipping finally began, but it still felt slow. Like, come on, you had the chip shortage and the war. Okay, that delay stuff. But then you said in October that your assembly line was finally done, and then 5 months later is when you decide to start shipping stuff for the first time. It seemed a little slow, but things were looking up, because just 3 months later, on June 29, 2023, Shipment 2 shipped. This was not a DIY kit, it was finally full-fledged, full trackers, completely homemade Slime VRs. They were shipped. Finally. A year and 10 months, 9 months, let's be fair. It took them quite a bit, but they're finally there. And then, things were looking up. It seemed like me getting full body tracking was just at my fingertips. But then Shipment 3 happened. Shipment 3 gets shipped next month on July 20th, 2023. So just a month after Shipment 2. So yeah, I might have seen. So now that I look back on it, like those 5 months might have seemed slow from October to the March DIY kits, but maybe they were just stockpiling on Slime VR so they can send them all out. So just a month later, Shipment 3 gets shipped. Even though this happened on July 20th, 2023, it is now September. It is now September of 2023. So that is 2 months later. And Shipment 3, it's still not shipped. It's been so long. It's been so long that shipment has been on the equivalent of development hell. Now, this delay isn't negligent or incompetent. This delay is made due to customs. Yeah, those international customs. I fucking hate them too. I fucking hate them too. US Customs had a problem with Shipment 3. Because it's kind of wild, because shipment 2 already, shipped. I leave the whole stuff here. Knowing how US customs work, this is gonna take a while. The US bureaucratic process is very slow, just like any country. I fucking hate bureaucracy. But this will take a long time, inevitably. Not only do they need to dispute the claim that the chips are not safe to be used close to a body, because that's the whole thing, and it's the US. They're gonna take a week to respond at anything you throw at them. They may need to get a certification that says that this chip is safe to be used, because it's kind of like a phone chip, which makes no sense, because everybody has their phone on their pocket all the time, and there's no problem with that. But when it's this thing, now there's a problem with it, which makes no goddamn sense. So they have to dispute the claim that it is unsafe, or they have to get a certification that says it is safe. And worst case scenario that could happen to them, they would need to unpack all the Slime VRs, take out the sticker on the chip, and then reapply a different sticker, to show that it is certified. I am not too sure how it works, but that is a possibility. So if that's the possibility, they will need to take out everything they've done so far, open them up, take out the sticker, and relabel them. And that is the absolute worst case scenario that could happen to the shipment. And the best case scenario is if they get the certification, then they can show it to customs, and then customs lets the shipment through. No relabeling, no repackaging, just the certification that this is safe to be used close to a human body, and then it goes through without a hitch. And this was the update that made me refund my money. It's been, in another month, it's gonna be 2 years since I backed them. It's a long time, and in those years, I've had the luxury to be able to afford full body tracking regularly. With base stations and stuff, which I'm gonna get soon. Luckily, my current headset is an Oculus Quest 2, and I've had it for years. But I can see the wear and tear that it's gotten. Every now and then, my right eye, the pixels die. So I was able to order a Valve Index that comes with base stations, and then I can use those base stations to order Vive pucks to strap to my body so I can have full body tracking. And that's what I'm probably gonna do whenever my Valve Index arrives. I don't have any anger towards them. And hopefully there's a day that ordering a Slime VR, it's just as easy as ordering something off Amazon. But right now, I cannot recommend you buying it until shipment 3 clears, at least until that happens. Because if shipment 3 clears, then the next shipment should be fast, relatively speaking. But as of right now, I cannot recommend it, because if you order today, you'll probably won't get your stuff for a couple of months next year. Also, I think I forgot to mention, their software is open source, so if you know how to make a tracker for your body, they have a guide in their Discord server, and they also have other sellers on their Discord server that can maybe ship it to you faster if you know how to make it. So, that's cool of them. They're not too focused on making money, they just want people to get their stuff. Now, this isn't a crowdfunded scam like we've seen before. This is just unfortunate, because people have gotten their Slime VRs. They actually do get them. They actually exist. The delays are in malice or incompetence. There are a series of unfortunate events. This isn't a road to hell paved by good intentions. This is a road that isn't paved, that's bumpy as shit, and it fucking broke the catalytic converter. The Slime people were asking for rain at the beginning of their project. 180,000. And they get a Category 5 hurricane now. $2.4 million. It is absolutely insane to think that such a small team can make all those orders. Well, they finally were able to. 2 years later. But there's still gonna be delays. And they still need to get more people in the team to assemble more stuff. And hopefully, one day, they can finally be a complete store. I truly wish them the best. And who knows, maybe when my full bar tracking dies after I get it, maybe by that time I'll be able to replace it with a Slime VR kit. Well, this has been Ren, or Alias. Bye bye.